Todd and Erin Morning Stream, GetPartDaily.com. Things are crazy around here.
Wow, really? It was the plethora of pumpkins, wasn't it?
It is, and there's a Star Wars person.
Oh, you can never have too
who
many
I
of
think
those.
I can take.
Really?
Yeah.
Only because you could push them down the stairs. The studio has a very steep set of
I
stairs.
had no idea that stormtroopers were so clanging.
You know the fun part would be listening to them roll down the stairs.
Oh yeah, it's like when they walk. It sounds like that.
I think Richard wants to kill you now.
He probably does.
Guy doing our sound and he's
Morning.
probably like, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay.
My star, is it out today?
I don't know, we should find out. Because it is time, of course, to go to the Utah Credit Approval Morning Mountain Cam, which
There
essentially
it
shows
is!
it's freaking pitch black.
I don't know why, but that gives me such
Why does that make you
pleasure.
so happy?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just the fact that it's always there. You can count on it. It's like farmer's insurance.
I'm very happy for you. That's so nice.
I really like that. And I know that's silly.
All right, coming up today, we've got some wild stuff. Number 1, fisherman catches drone.
Gordon.
Number 2, fisherman catches 200-pound sturgeon in his underwear. No, the sturgeon wasn't in his underwear. It's a whole other
We'll
thing.
find
But
out.
anyway, also Gordon Hayward.
Hayward.
The Schadenfreude is strong this morning.
Oh.
It's very sad. And of course, we start with thank you once again for making us all look like racist pigs here in Utah, ladies. Oh, wait, you're not really ladies, are you? Okay, so here's the deal. Everybody's already heard about the
Now explain it like they have it.
fairly widely circulated video
Fairly.
that showed up on Instagram of a bunch of plucky little Weber High School cheerleaders and a couple of their friends who were shouting
In a car.
what it appears to be a racial epithet and an obscenity.
Doesn't appear to.
Okay.
It is clear as day.
Oh, yeah, it's the F word and the N word, which is brutal. Now, they thought they were being clever because there's an app on Instagram where you can actually reverse everything you're saying.
Right.
And so it sounds like something else. So whatever they came up with that they managed to say at the start turns into the F word and the N word.
Knowing that
And
would
they're
be the case.
thinking it's hysterical because they're not really saying those words, so they're not racist scumbags, but they really are saying those words. It got worse because one of the football players from the team actually posted it on Twitter saying, I can't believe I go to school with people like this. One of the mothers of the girls actually went on Twitter and threatened him, which doesn't really help.
For posting it.
Yeah, and several of the other parents, rather than apologizing and taking their daughters home to lock them in a closet, said that's not what happened at all, and you're all just making it's like, no matter how your daughter said this, they said the F word and the N word repeatedly, laughing their butts off. That's what we end up with. So, number 1, always remember that anything you post doesn't just go to your little group of friends. It's going to go everywhere.
More importantly, number 2.
Maybe don't be that kind of person. What would your parents have done to you? I mean, I remember getting a complaint from school once for me and my mother took me to school and made me apologize to like everybody involved, people that weren't even people walking by. I remember I was grounded for like 3 months. It was just, but there's the increasing thing now of like you're harassing my child. We have. One of our closest friends works in the disciplinary section, the security section of the Canyon School District, and she gets that constantly from parents of children who she said really need help, and instead of going, oh my gosh, my kid really needs help, they're like, I'm going to sue you for harassing my child. That's not really what happened. It's like
when we were growing up, and you got in trouble at school, you didn't go home and tell your parents because they beat you, they'd punish you again. Because they had the respect for the teachers in the school system. I cannot imagine the parents on this.
I'm sure there's a couple of the girls who have really good folks who are just humiliated right now and trying to even think of how they apologize or what they do.
What are they going to do? They have African American, they have Hispanic, they have different cultures that go to their school, that they go to school with. Then they go to church. How's that going to work out?
Well, it's funny because the Weber School District spokesperson Lane Findlay, I understand that you don't always know how to handle something this horrible immediately. But his thing was, well, we need to find out if this happened on school grounds.
There is something about school grounds.
And there is. It does I think it goes into the hate crime legislation or something like that. But it's like, that doesn't seem to be even the biggest problem right now. But I guess he has to say something.
It's heartbreaking. You think we've moved on. You think we're getting someplace, and then all of a sudden stuff like this happens.
That's the most disheartening thing to me. And I've seen this a few times socially over the last few years where this is crap we thought we were over with. We've moved on to new and exciting, terrible things to handle and deal with, as parents and as human beings. And then you come back and you're like, this didn't die a slow, horrible death, like in the 1900s. We're still dealing with this now in 2017. The same crap over and over again that our parents dealt with, that we dealt with, and now our kids are dealing with, and that this is how, again, nothing's changed. It's just, I do feel disheartened because I'm like, if we can't have erased something this basic, then...
Right. Grew up outside of Boston, and Boston is a racist town. I'm going to tell you that, because it is.
Wow.
It has. It might be doing better now, but back when they started doing, they bust in African American kids into white schools, and it got nasty. They had brawls in downtown Boston over this, and it was really ugly, and the city is kind of tainted with that image for. I just said it for how long? I mean, and it's just I don't think I've ever said that, like the N-word. I don't think I've ever said, because I was brought up with a different background. I was brought up in a different way.
I said it once in relation to knocking. It was where you knock on a door and run away.
Right.
And it was the phrase that somebody had said to me, and I used it back. And it's the only time my mother has ever hit me.
Oh.
And Mary Helen, and she slapped me, and I was so stunned I didn't even know what to say. And she started crying. She goes, "I can't believe you'd say that word." And this was however long ago, and apparently somewhere along the line, the parents of these girls didn't ever think that was something to address. And it's like the worst possible word I can imagine.
The word you said yesterday on Facebook was disheartening.
Disheartening. It is.
Perfect word.
In any case, so all of your out-of-town friends will be mocking you today, and we'll be getting a lot of conversation on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram again, and
kind of makes polygamy look good, doesn't it? Because that's not what people are focused on, and that doesn't seem anywhere near as bad as what just happened.
Okay, and one more disheartening thing, and then we're going to try to go to something more
Are we really
interesting.
going to do more?
One more, and then let's go to something more interesting.
All right.
It's not just in high schools, not just Weaver High. University of Utah police are investigating. Vandals broke into the campus's new building. It's the Carolyn and Kem Gardner building. It's under construction.
It's really cool.
It's a very pretty building. And they spray painted the building with racial slurs. So it's like, once again, and this is in the university.
It's under construction. The reason it's green is because they have treated boards they use on the outside. That's why it's green. It's not finished yet.
So there's a large section of the flooring that were covered with the graffiti. And it's going to be a lot of different and extra expense they weren't planning on. But just the fact that once again, the vandals break in, but it's not even the vandalism as much as once again what they did is
the content.
So it's like that doubly insulting thing. So anyway,
it
feels like we've all got a lot of work to do to maybe remind our kids of what is galactically immoral and unacceptable.
It's so. This is how. And I'm sorry, we don't mean to preach or anything, but can't walk through Ace Hardware anymore and look at tiki torches for what they remind me of now.
All right.
Raise your kids better.
All right, moving on. This is also horrible, but in a different horrible way.
Horrible story.
This is our Gordon Hayward.
Gee, what an upper show.
And Gordon Hayward, who we all was enormously popular with the Jazz, and we all loved him. And it was a very sad day. He chose to go to the Celtics, and it's Boston. Celtics, sorry. And it was Boston, and Todd's from Boston, so that was like a small.
Celtics, they're awesome.
Except for the opening game yesterday. This was like in the first quarter, right?
No, 6 minutes in. We cannot show you the picture.
It's that bad.
And the two reasons. Number one, we don't own it. And number two, it would upset you so much.
It's really bad.
So he goes up for an alley-oop. He comes down. He bounces off LeBron.
Yeah, who's basically bouncing off a brick wall.
Comes down on his ankle. First, tibia snap. That's bad.
Excruciating.
6 minutes in.
Tore a bunch of his tendons.
The bad part was He dislocated his ankle, and so it went the wrong direction.
It went sideways. The toes were pointing backwards.
You will see a picture of this today someplace in your journey. When you do, try to look past him laying on the floor.
Screaming uncontrollably.
And look at the fans in the stands. Look at their faces. The grimaces, they're like,
oh no, both teams. And
then,
poor LeBron was standing next to him like, dude,
don't
dude,
look.
Just focus
They had
ahead.
other players on the court, like doing the dry heave thing like this.
So I'm guessing poor Gordon is pretty much out for it. Yeah. You know
Being
what,
so
Boston, I got to be honest, Boston is really bad luck for our players. Remember our BYU guy who is now with Boston, the football player? He and his wife got rear-ended last Friday night.
Oh, that's true.
And now he's out on the injured list, too.
They're watching him very
Boston
carefully.
hates our athletes
I don't
somehow.
know. But just to show you how tough he is, or that whole rub some dirt on it thing, is one of the medical guys went out on the court and they lay him out, and that is going to hurt, my friends. And he put his ankle back in place on the court. Because otherwise it'd be flopping around like that. And evidently he took it and he pulled off and put it back in the joint.
How loudly do screams echo in the...
no matter what he yelled, it would be okay. No, there's not a priest in the land that wouldn't let him drop the F-bomb a couple times, because they took his ankle, which is facing this way, and made it face this way, the way it should.
Yeah, dude, your foot is backwards.
On the court, rub some dirt on it, walk it off.
I would be begging for morphine. Like, do I have to be conscious? Do I have to mentally be here for you to do that?
Can I be drugged before I off the court?
So anyway, worst, just the worst luck.
All right,
so poor man.
The broken bone, workable. They can plate it. They can do whatever. I heard this from a doctor. Dislocating. They're worried about the ligaments, and if they got torn, and the ligaments that hold the joint together.
Let's hope they were really stretchy, because, like I said, it was backwards.
6 minutes into his professional.
Can you imagine how
basketball
excited
career.
he was, and the build up, and it's my first game with the Celtics, and I'm going to be amazing, and I'm just going to really do it for my new team. And 6 minutes in, after all of his anticipation and his hard work, and he was doing all of the positive imagery and all the stuff that good athletes do, and.
All right, I'm just going to stop the show. We'll see you tomorrow. This is just way too depressing.
Okay, we need to be happy. No, let's go be happy now. Happy now, because this is the coolest California story ever, and I had the chance to talk to this girl via email yesterday, because I contacted this girl. I said, I please use your pictures, because you're freaking amazing.
Finally,
she went,
good story.
Totally, you can totally do that. And I said, did you really do this thing? She went, yes, I did.
Do you want me to tell you the story?
Explain, because it's amazing.
Santa Rosa fires a college student. What is she, 19? And she, the fires are coming in, and she's got to get the hell out of Dodge, right? So
firefighters are like, leave now, go.
She jumps in her car, starts heading down the road, and the traffic backs up. So she's not going to make it out. And all of a sudden she said, I'll go back to the house. I'll go back to my house, my bike. I can get a bike, and then I can go through the traffic. And then she thought about my dog.
And the trouble is, this is so many pets. It's the same thing we saw in Houston and in Florida. I mean, when you have natural disasters, the pets are like, they maybe lose them or forget them in the melee. And then you have people like this girl who I cannot leave my baby.
She gets back, and there's her bike. Oh, and here's her 70-pound pit bull.
70-pound pit bull.
And she's got a bike. She runs into the garage, and she gets a big duffel bag. Big duffel bag. She calls her dog over. Dog sits in the duffel bag, and then she puts it over the seat of the bike and makes a sidecar, like the old motorcycles.
I love that.
And she pedals out.
Can you imagine the balance you would have to be counterweighting a 70-pound pit bull?
You'd be sideways.
And she's riding through the smoke and the mess. And look at her cute face. Look how adorable she is.
She is adorable.
And she loves that dog. Look at that dog. That dog is like, I am so loved.
That's a happy dog.
Everybody loves me. Look at my face.
I will no longer poop in your shoe.
I mean, that is the sweetest story ever, though. Like, I can't. She said, I just couldn't leave him.
She lost everything.
Except for her dog.
Her dog. And she was also...
She was surprisingly upbeat when I emailed her, too, when we were talking via email. Yeah. She was just like, yeah, I've got my dog. I'm alive. You know, it's okay.
She did the GoFundMe page.
And she tried to do a little joke like, well, you know, I'm a college student, so I didn't have a lot anyway. And I'm like, oh, honey, it doesn't matter. But yeah, very sweet. So she does have a GoFundMe page if you would like to contribute. But
what's her name? Wallace. Natasha Wallace. And so far she's raised $18,000. Because I would imagine her car's gone.
Everything's gone.
Imagine computer, everything. Dog food, which must have been 400 pounds of dog food for a dog that size. But
that's such
smart.
But it's such an amazing story of all the things that, all the fear and the weirdness. This is like this smart girl who kept her head about her, like, I have to save my dog, whose name is Bentley.
Okay, so we had 3 horrible stories. And then that one.
Which is good.
I'm feeling okay.
We're starting to try to shift the momentum here.
Give me another one?
Okay,
how
about this one? It goes back to what we've been talking about, the heroes that come out of disaster. And we've had amazing stories from Houston and from Florida and from Puerto Rico. And we have another one coming up. But Guy Fieri, of course, who is a celebrity chef.
He does drive-ins and dives.
He's the one with the spiky blonde hair and the goatee.
I like him. He's good.
Mm-hmm. In any case, Food Network star.
There he is.
And
White tips.
They have a place in Santa Rosa. He and his wife, they were woken up on Monday morning by the smell of smoke.
Yep.
The firefighters came at 2 a.m, said, get up, you got to go.
Right.
So he said, basically, we grabbed pictures off the wall as fast as we could, jumped in the truckload of the dogs, we left. And so they were sitting here waiting, and they don't know if their house is there or not. They don't know what's going on. And he just said, okay, I'm going to do what I do, because he was at the community center.
He's a cook.
Started calling everybody he knew, and he just started cooking.
Right.
So, restaurateurs were bringing in food for him to cook and pans and all kinds of stuff. He started a wood fire oven, setting up shop outside the Veterans Memorial Building in Santa Rosa, had a barbecue smoker in tow. They started making coleslaw, barbecue chicken, bean salad, and then he just started passing
People started showing up to help cook, showing up to eat. And he took care of them.
It was amazing. He did 3,700 meals to Sonoma County residents that day.
How many?
3,700. And now he's also working with the Salvation Army so that he can continue to supply food for the firefighters. And he's determined to do 5,000 meals a day for them.
Wow.
And Guy's a great cook. So I'm figuring if anyone deserves a decent meal at that point, it's probably the firefighters.
Isn't it interesting? In Puerto Rico, there's a gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he's like a taskmaster. He tells you to do something in the kitchen, and it's
One
not
of the scary
it's not
chefs.
the swearing guy you're thinking of.
He's just scary.
He shows up, same thing, sets up, starts getting stuff
paella
together.
going everywhere.
There is, and he's doing the same thing. He's feeding 2,300 people a day and increasing from that. Sets up this makeshift roadside kitchen, and he goes crazy. Emerald Lagasse from New Orleans, that guy, after the hurricane, same thing. It's the cook brought people back together because their employees went all around the world.
That's one of the things I absolutely love, especially just about the food thing, is because food is comfort. It's taking care of someone. And for these people, this is how they can take care of people. They can comfort them. It's like, I will bring you food.
Right.
Here is coleslaw. You will feel better now. And it's true.
His restaurant was one of the restaurants that didn't flood. And so he started bringing everybody in and feeding everyone else. And then they started a chain of food coming in, and then they prepare it and then give, because Katrina obviously kicked some butt.
All right, I'm starting.
It's interesting how
I'm
the
feeling
chefs,
better though. Yeah, but it's what they do.
Me.
But it's what they do. It's like, let me take care of you. This is something I can do. I can help, and it's true. It's one of those beautiful concrete things that makes people feel cared for. And aside from the essential fact that you're hungry because there's a disaster, it's the love. It's the love that I want to take care of you and I want to help heal you again.
Great example.
And it's really beautiful.
But there's no-name people out there doing this too. All right, I feel better.
Without question. Do you feel better now?
Yeah.
Good.
Whew.
We're all taking a deep cleansing breath. Things are better now. We're tipping over into that happy 51%. Remember, that is the only goal on the morning stream, is that we want us all to be just 1% over from happy to sad. If we can just tip over like 51% to happy, the whole world is better.
So if you had turned off or paused the show after the Gordon Hayward story, you'd probably think we're pretty gross people.
Like, I'm just going to go sit in front of a bus because they're really
Erin,
depressing.
They're depressing.
No, it
All
gets
right.
better. It's getting a lot better.
Let's get some info.
All right, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and she is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track, and you can get a car that you need and deserve with UtahCreditApproval.com. Just call them at 801-921-9819. Also by Columbus Travel, who is having their screamingly good cruise sale through the 21st. You can get unbelievable deals where you can get airfare and a hotel for less than the price of airfare, but only if you go to ColumbusVacations.com and sign up for the newsletter. And all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John knows that there's always a disaster, and it's usually 2 in the morning. That's why he has 24-hour emergency service. This is the time to make sure that everything is working okay in your house for the winter. You can reach them at allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my darling, what is going on this morning?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Wednesday, October 18th on GephartDaily.com. The Weber High School District has interviewed 3 of the 5 female Weber High School students who appeared in a controversial video posted on social media, which appears to contain racial slurs. The video, which has gone viral, features the N-word and the F-word and has been widely condemned as racist by social media users around the world. According to the school district, the video was filmed 1 year ago while the students were on fall break. The district says the group was, quote, playing around saying gibberish into an app, and when the recorded phrase was played backwards, it sounded like a racial slur. One of the girls shared it on a social media platform as a private post. It was viewed by other students who then reposted it to other social media sites. 3 of the 5 girls in the videos are cheerleaders. These are teenagers who made a big mistake, a district spokesman said, and they will be held accountable. Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski has signed an executive order directing body camera footage of officer-involved critical incidents, also known as police shootings, to be released within 10 business days of the incident. The mayor says the executive order, which was issued Tuesday, is aimed at increasing transparency and takes effect immediately. Other stakeholders, including Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill, were given the opportunity to comment on a draft policy released in January, according to Mayor Biskupski, and agreed to abide by the order. Former Jazz star Gordon Hayward suffered a gruesome injury to his left ankle and leg Tuesday night after being bumped in the air by LeBron James during the Celtics season opener against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hayward, who signed a 4-year, $128 million contract with the Celtics in the offseason, was trying to convert a lob pass from Kyrie Irving when he and James ran into each other. Hayward's ankle appeared to buckle as he came down on it, and the grotesque nature of the injury stunned players and fans alike. Hayward was carried from the floor by stretcher while the teammates formed a prayer circle. He was then examined by medical personnel from both teams and flown back to Boston for further evaluation. And now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, where we'll continue to be blessed with temperatures in the mid-70s under mostly sunny skies. Overnight lows will be in the mid to upper 40s. We'll see a slight dip in temps Friday with an increased chance of rain. That's all for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. And Todd and Erin, back to you.
Daisy?
All right, so if you need some plumbing work, who are you going to call? All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Now, the reason you're going to call them is because they know what they're doing. Now, here's one thing. Their honesty is unbelievable. They're going to come into your house, and they're going to look at your furnace. Like right now would be a great time to get it inspected for only $69. And they don't just like, dust it off. No, they actually open the thing up. They're crawling inside. They have things that test the pressure of the gas going in, the way it ignites, also if the fact that there's any CO2 coming out, which is deadly. And they can do all these different things. Plus, when they tune it, they're going to actually make it last longer. And if you need other work done, they can do it. Your hot water heater, a toilet, a drain, whatever it might be, they're the people you want to call. Put their number in your phone. It's All Utah Plumbing. Just go to allutahplumbing.com for more information. All right, when you think about college students, sometimes you think, oh, crazy people who don't really think about other people. Sometimes you do.
In this particular case, you think that she does think about other people because...
What?
Well, it's Rosanna Guisarna. She, actually, her family's from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
She goes to Carnegie Mellon University, so you know she's a smart monkey already.
She is.
And she was watching the devastation, basically, of her home and watching and talking to family members and hearing about how bad things were, and that those who were seriously ill couldn't get off the island to get care, and
Right.
water, all these things, and she's freaking. And then she'd seen a couple of images of wealthy people chartering their own jets to get off. Now, we'd also seen that down in Miami and everything, and we were all typically enraged. Well, Rosanna did something different.
What she also saw was different people like Branson and team coaches saying, "Here, take the plane."
Well, this is exactly what she did. She contacted two of the very wealthy people. There had been stories about them chartering a private plane to get off the island. She contacted them and said, "Since your private plane's off the island, I was wondering if I could stock it up with supplies
She guilted him.
and send it back, because you're going to look amazing."
Plane shaming.
And both of the wealthy parties, neither of which wish to be named, said,
Right.
"Of course you can."
Oh,
Because
nice.
like you're going to say no to her right now. So
Right.
she put out a crowdfunding thing, and she sent it to all of her friends and said, "Could you please send it to all your friends?" She said, "We're desperate to help the island." She said, "A lot of people, she says, feel the same, but we don't know how." But she said, "By the time normal distribution channels open, it will be too late for the people who need it at most."
Okay.
This is last week and the week before, when need was very severe.
Right.
She raised $7,000 in 24 hours, $11,000 by the following day, and then by the middle of the week, she had $48,000.
What'd she do with it?
So she spent her first $20,000 in donations to bring 1,000 pounds of infant formula, batteries, water filters, medicine, medical supplies.
Good.
Send it all over. Both of the wealthy parties who did not wish to be named also donated the gas and the pilot, which was good. And so she flew it all over, and then she flew back 6 evacuees, severely ill people for the
Get
first
them back
one.
to the States, yeah.
And then the second plane went out, now this time with 2,000 pounds. This time they're going to the mountain and the coastal areas that are not having the same distribution routes. They can't
right.
get through by the roads.
Right.
And they've already got this stack of patients that are waiting to be brought back. Since then, she has guilt and pressured the wealthy parties and a couple of the university administrators who are quite wealthy on their own to donate other planes. So they're calling it the Rosanna Fleet, and their aviation fleet, and they're saying that Air Rosanna is going to have 6 private planes by next week, Learjets and such,
gosh.
taking supplies over. So it's like Air Rosanna, and everyone's joking about it, but she's like, "Well, no, it doesn't have to be named after me. It was just really important."
Right.
But I love the concept of a college student creating her own private fleet of planes.
That is
Through
amazing.
guilt and intimidation
So-
and sheer determination to save her people.
So if you see this woman walking towards you, prepare to do something really
Just
nice.
start nodding and take out your
Yeah,
wallet, get it
just-
over with, because you know you're not getting out of there.
Here. All right, now
Isn't that wonderful,
now I'm
though?
feeling better.
Right? Back to the happy balance. We're
Okay.
tipping back in again.
So one of the things we want to do is say thank you. We do this every show because you've stuck with us, and you followed us from radio, and now you're watching.
We're
and
1.8 million views. What are we going to do for the 2 million views? We have to have a party of some kind for the 2 millionth view.
I'm still amazed, but that's just me. We want to send you for a steak dinner, not just any steak dinner. We're going to send you to Christopher's.
The
You can bring
steak
3 of your friends. It's elegant, yet it's not snooty. I really like that. And just their side dishes alone are amazing.
Do you have the garlic mashed potatoes?
No, because no one's invited me to go.
I have eaten there once, and I remember the ribeye,
better.
like with this misty fondness that you remember for your first love. I mean, it was that good. So this is your chance, and all you have to do in order to enter is very simple. You're on one of our Facebook pages, perhaps watching the show today. Just drop a comment under the show. Just, "I like Christopher's," I don't care what you say. You can do that on the Get Part Daily page, the Get Part Approved, or on the Todd and Erin page. And by the way, we love the conversation, and thank you for everybody joining us every morning. We're building up this awesome community where everybody like greets each other every morning and says hi. But it's wonderful to hear what you're thinking and what you think about the show. So thank you for sticking with us,
Thanks.
and it's a joy. Thank you.
Coming up next,
Yes.
Pumpkin Madness.
Alex Kurahara is here from the Pumpkin Patch and Corn Maze, isn't he?
I wonder if we brought pumpkins.
I hope so.
It's next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but repair your credit and find the car you want at Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. Also by Columbus Travel. Sign up for their weekly newsletter today for some screamingly good last-minute travel deals. You can do that at columbusvacations.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the perfect time to check out your heating system and make sure that you're ready for the cold winter months ahead. Go to allutahplumbing.com. And don't forget 24-hour service.
right, welcome back. Erin looks different. Todd and Erin, morning stream on GapRoadDaily.com. Is this the biggest pumpkin? This is Alex. Hi, Alex. Well, this will be a short interview. And the guys behind you, okay, they're stand up just a little bit more, just so we can see how frightening it. Okay, get down. You're scaring me. Okay, let me get this out of the way. All right, Alex, you're gonna have to take your mask off and talk to me, because otherwise. How's it going, sir?
Oh, hello.
How are you? Now, let's talk first about the corn maze that you have going on at your farm. So, tell me what went in this year to the corn maze, because every year you do it differently.
Oh, we did a lot. We made 3 different corn mazes that are all really fun.
So you have one trick one, I know.
Maybe.
Okay. Perhaps it dead ends.
Maybe not.
Okay. All right. So the corn maze is great. You've got how many people are you getting a night now? I mean, it must be crowded.
It's really fun. At nighttime after 5, we start our free shows. So
Right.
that's when it's the best. Like, if you come during the day, it's awesome.
Right.
But at nighttime, you get so much more.
And it's free.
Oh, yeah. And we're a pumpkin patch, and, you buy a pumpkin, everything's free.
And so there's like 3 different areas for the pumpkins, right?
Yeah, 4 different areas.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we have 4 different patches. We have pick your own pumpkin patch.
Right.
We have a Cinderella's pumpkin patch. We have Frankenstein's pumpkin patch, and we have a just a Nightmare Before Christmas patch with Jack and everything. It's really fun.
And so you're getting a lot of people down there. How many pumpkins did you grow this year, do you think?
Oh gosh.
And
Probably.
The cool thing is you got the gourds and you got the warty ones, and they got all the
100,000.
designer ones as
Oh
well.
yeah, you gotta have the designer ones. Like, now it's really trendy, like trendy moms. If you're a trendy mom, this is the ones you get, the designer
Or a trendy
ones.
dad, or a trendy kid.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The moms just eat these up alive.
So you've got those going on. You've got the maze, the pumpkins. Tell me about the show. When you talk about shows, now I see the characters behind me.
Yeah, we got this awesome Jedi. He has an awesome lightsaber. And we got this
right here.
stormtrooper. He's my minion. Swing that thing around. Show him what you got.
Why am I nervous? What could happen?
Watch out! That thing does cut. I'm not kidding.
You do the shows for the kids and stuff like that. And what time do the shows start?
5 o'clock we start. We have a Cinderella show. She sings live. We have a scary show. We announce that 20 minutes before, and every 5 minutes we announce. So just in case you do not want your little ones to be scared, you can go through the corn maze.
Oh, look at
the
you.
pumpkin patches. So, it's good for, the little kids and the big kids, because we have both. And then, in the mazes, we have both too, a scary maze, fun mazes. So we're trying to be really have a lot of different stuff.
For a lot of ages.
Of other people. Yeah.
All right, very cool.
We're mostly family, though. We only want family. That's what we're doing. So, this is a family thing. You want to bring your family. This is a family activity. It's awesome family activity.
Is it for families?
Just for families.
Tell them the address. Where are you located?
700 West, 12200 South in Draper. You'll be going down on 123rd, and right when you get to the Apollo Burger, you're going to go north.
Right.
And you'll see the corn
All
maze.
right. So what time? You can go during the day.
Yeah, we open at 10. Every day we're open.
And the shows start at
5.
Okay. Until
they go until we close.
be a good date.
Yeah, every day until
right,
we close.
be a good day.
Yeah, and it's every day.
Yeah.
Which place has shows every day? Wow.
Okay, Alex, thank
We're
you so
good.
much. Put your helmet back on.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there you go. All right. He makes noises and everything. All right. We'll be
Hey,
back.
no, that's my
Wait,
helmet.
okay. I'm gonna walk you guys out actually. Aaron, come on in. Because Aaron's gonna follow me. Here we go. I'm gonna keep the pumpkins, by the way. Hey, Aaron, come. You got a show you're doing in here. She's out there.
Get out of here.
See you guys. She's out there talking with Daisy. It's like, Aaron. Wait.
No,
Hi.
I was paralyzed. I was just sort of paralyzed by the stormtrooper walking out holding this pumpkin like it was a ritual sacrifice, and I'm like,
Would you sit in your chair?
I was like, what are you doing with the pumpkin?
All right. You said you had
Is there-
you had a treat for me.
There's pumpkin. It's a nice pumpkin. Ooh, do we get to keep that pumpkin?
Yeah, I didn't tell him we're gonna keep him.
That's probably for the best. He's got more. He will never know. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. I have
This is a treat for me.
I have 2 epic fisherman stories. Are you ready?
For me.
2 epic fisherman stories. Here is your first.
Okay.
If you lost your drone at Miller Flat Reservoir,
No.
somebody has it for you.
Who's got it?
Danny Atherley was fishing. He'd thrown in a couple of lines.
Mm-hmm.
He was just checking stuff out, and his wife Beverly was just kind of watching and chilling. And she said, "Oh, honey, I think you got something over there." And the line had snagged, and so he starts reeling it in.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
fairly heavy. They're like,
Big
"Oh,
fish, I bet.
like this is gonna be a pretty good fish.
Yeah.
This is good." When he finally got the fish out of the water,
Yeah.
he had the fish. He
Yeah.
also had a drone.
So he had the fish and a drone.
Yeah, so it's like a 2-for-1 deal. It said DJI Mavic Pro, and the athletes think it probably crashed sometime in July because that's where the photos on the SD card stop.
Oh, they got the card out.
So they left it to dry in the sun, and they took out the card, and they were trying to see if they could find the owner. They said, "We've got pictures of the operator, but we don't really have any names." So he says, "We've put it up on Facebook and everything. If you can take a look and see if you know them." But I just love the concept that
funny.
you got the fish and you also got a drone. See?
That's a good story.
That's number 1.
Can I tell you one more story
Yes,
about a drone fishing?
Okay.
So the guy thought it'd be really cool. So what he did is he took a line and some bait and he put it hanging from his drone. And he took the drone and he went across the top of the water.
Oh,
so
fun.
the drone was like 4 feet, 6 feet
Oh, and
up.
so the bait was going
and
through
the
the
bait
water?
was just going across the water like that. Sure enough, a bass came up, drowned the drone. Okay. There's $2,000, sayonara. This is a bigger fish than he thought.
I have a bigger fish.
Okay, I'm ready.
A bigger fish. Are
I'm
you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, this is Mike Hinnett. He's actually a friend of ours, but he was out camping with some buddies up in Idaho. They were fishing. He had just thrown in a line. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to go get changed, for the day." So he was basically in his underwear, and his friends start shouting, "Dude, hurry!" So Mike goes racing out
Wait. What do you mean racing out?
of the tent in his
Okay.
underwear.
Makes sense, okay.
And the line's going crazy, so it's not like he's going to stop and put on pants. His line's going crazy.
He's catching a fish, folks.
So he's like reeling and reeling and battling and reeling and doing all that epic stuff like Old Man of the Sea, and it's totally, John Steinbeck. And
What did he catch?
it was a 200-pound sturgeon. Now, if you take a look at the pictures, he's the one, as you can see, in his underwear. Yeah. 200 pounds. And all of his buddies are like, "We're taking a picture right now." He goes, "Can I put some clothes on?" They went, "No, we're taking the picture right
Taking
now."
a picture of a sturgeon.
So you have to admit,
Oh
though,
my
that's pretty
gosh.
boss. 200-pound sturgeon in your underwear. The
Plus-
sturgeon wasn't wearing his underwear.
Plus, look, he's kind of cut, so it's okay,
I'm
If it was
suspecting.
me, the fish would be saying, "Put some clothes on." Seriously, the fish would learn how to talk.
No.
Fish would learn how to talk and go, "Todd, put a shirt on. You're killing me."
You are a very handsome man. The fish would love you.
So that's 200 pounds. I would have come out of the tent naked, and then the fish would have really started talking. Go away. But thank you for the fishing story.
You have to admit, though, there's a certain level of composure when one can catch a 200-pound fish in your underpants.
In your underwear. And just a heads up, with all the hooks, naked fishing is not a good idea.
Yeah, I
just wanna do
can.
that.
I can imagine anyone who hasn't learned that should
Well, it's
by
because
now.
you did that to me. You gave me those stories. I'm going to give you a story back.
Yes.
I take your 2 fishing stories and I raise you a haunted mansion.
I want it.
Cape Elizabeth off the coast of Maine.
That's by Benga, right?
No, Banga's much farther north.
Oh, okay.
It's a 2,000 square foot Beckett's Castle.
Oh, I want it.
Cape Elizabeth, named after Sylvester Beckett.
Look at that tower.
He was an eccentric writer, lawyer who built this in the late 1800s.
I want it so
Look at
much.
the tower.
I know, the tower is killing me.
Gosh.
Can you imagine having your bedroom right up at the top one, looking out over the storms?
Here, read right there.
Okay. Oh, Nancy, I'm so jealous. The owner since 1981, Nancy Harvey, has passed away, and her family is selling the estate. Whipple said that Harvey restored and upgraded the castle home after it fell into disrepair under its previous owner, and said she was likely behind the stories of hauntings because she'd done a ton of research. Yeah, she'd done a ton of research on the castle and everything that had happened there. There are tales of the ghost of Beckett taking sheets off beds, opening doors, and laying down paintings face down, according to some of the stories. And Whipple said that while Harvey never witnessed anything like that, she said, "If there is a spirit here, it is benevolent," which is always nice to know.
Before you read the poem he wrote, about this. Can we see the castle one more time?
2,000 square foot, 30-foot tall tower, secret gardens, a guest house.
Now let me tell you one thing. This
is magical.
Cape Elizabeth, and when I was a kid, we went. Our friends had a place right on the ocean, and when we went that night, as soon as we arrived, it was dark. It was probably 9 o'clock at night, and a nor'easter came in.
Wow.
Maybe not a nor'easter, but a storm where the rain was going right against the window panes.
Epic proportions.
And it was just great. And I remember, that's maybe where I started loving extreme weather. But I just remember you could hear the ocean. We were that close. And the rain was just coming down on the house. And I went, that's why I love Maine. Because it scares people.
You were like Lieutenant Dan. You call this a storm?
But I just remember there's a child. All right, would you like to read his poem now?
Okay, well, Beckett actually wrote a poem a little bit about the house, inspired by the castle, and it's from 1816. It says, "If the soul dieth, if our years on earth of discord, joys, and tears be all of life, then life is vain, and heaven's great work imperfect. No, death is but a second birth, and man immortal oft returns."
Bet you didn't think he'd have his poem read.
That's so cool.
You know?
It's only 3.5 million. Maybe we could get it.
Let's see. We have $3.
We could go to the money store and ask them for... Oh, tell me you wouldn't die for that house.
We're here for money.
Why are you opening the door?
We have a bucket, and we have $2. We're ready to make this happen. No, we're not going to pay it back. We only have $2.
All right.
Go to the money store.
Moving on to Hollywood, I owe Courtney Love an apology.
Who?
Courtney Love.
Okay.
I've never liked her. I'm going to be honest. Her drug use and her what I consider lack of talent.
She was hardcore. I mean, and I'm not sure when this happened. This
was 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
You may remember she was actually nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, and she did have a couple of good roles. She had a couple of good things. Well, during the award season, somebody was saying, "Do you have any advice for young actresses?"
She's on the red carpet.
And this is 20 years ago, and she says, we couldn't use the audio, and I wish we could. She says, "Yeah, if Harvey Weinstein invites you for a meeting at his hotel room, don't go." Now, she is the first.
How long ago was this?
20 years ago. And she is the first and only person who was willing to stand up and say, "This really sucks." And she did it 20 years ago, and apparently nobody listened to her or believed her. But I have to respect her now because she had the courage to stand up and say something.
And we also had Seth Rogen.
What about Seth Rogen?
Isn't it Seth? Who was the speaker who was doing the award
Seth
show?
MacFarlane.
MacFarlane. And
that was 2 years ago, and he was
what
naming.
Did he say?
He was naming the best actress nominees.
Right.
And he was hosting the Academy Awards, and he said, "Well, here's 5 ladies who no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein." Now, Harvey Weinstein, once again, the head of Weinstein Company. He was also head of Miramax, one of the 5 most powerful movie producers in Hollywood.
Is he still in Europe?
He's in Europe going to sex addiction counseling.
So he's going there after doing this for how many years?
20 at least.
20 or 30. Mm-hmm. And he is in Europe seeking help as opposed to staying in the United States where he could be prosecuted or something like that. But did you notice there was no... His wife left him. Do you know that there was no denial? Mm-mm. There was none.
Oh, no. What his attorney said is, well, we think there might have been some impropriety, but he didn't, sexually assault anybody. It's like, no, dude. Yeah, you did. You actually did.
But it's funny, because usually there's a big defense, like with the Bill Cosby and Bill O'Reilly, and there's this big, oh, no. And they're all just kind of going, yeah, he did.
It was a landslide at this point. They
fired
fired him. As a matter of fact, I think he's been stripped of a lot of his professional credentials.
Which is weird, because if you worked with him, you knew this was going on. And not saying anything is complicity. And I think we're all learning lessons about that.
And Gwyneth Paltrow stood up as like a hero going, yes, I stand for all women.
But she did.
And she did keep it a secret. And she was the daughter of 2 powerful Hollywood actors. And you would think if anyone could have made a stand, it would have been her. But she stands up now as like a hero.
Let's not shame her, though.
Oh, I'm trying not to victim shame her, but this one's hard. Because the initial New York Times story that broke had 3 actresses who were brave enough to go, yes, you can use my name. Because this has been part of the problem for over 10 years. Writers have been trying to do the story, but they couldn't get any of the actresses to say, use my name, because they're like, I'll never work again. And finally, 3 of them said, yeah, go ahead. Rose McGowan, and there was also Ashley.
And then Angelina Jolie stood up, and all these other people.
And she had been telling people for many years, she had never come public, but she had counseled other girls, do not do this, and she wouldn't work with them again.
Well, I'm glad they all stood forward, and if you imagine how many people haven't.
Well, it's interesting because there were 2 more yesterday. Elle's Women's in Hollywood event. Reese Witherspoon stood up and spoke, and she was talking about sexual harassment because it really is the story of the day now. And she said, number one, I would like to point out that this happens to men too. It's not just to women. She said, it's unreasonable and cruel for either sex to be treated with a lack of dignity and sexual harassment. She said it's not just women, which I thought was really nice because it's true. But number two, she started working as a teenager, and she said that when she was 16 years old, she was actually she was assaulted by a director. And she said, I'd like to tell you that's the only time that it happened in my career, but I would be lying. And this is Reese Witherspoon, who has won an Academy Award and is one of the most powerful women in Hollywood. And she still had to go through that. Jennifer Lawrence was another one at the thing yesterday. Also an incredibly powerful actress, and she's adorable beyond all measure. Todd and I love her. She talked about the fact that, she also went through harassment. She also through some of the film producers. And at one point she said it was really painful. Harvey Weinstein told her, you need to lose 15 pounds. You're gigantic. And what he did is he had the director do a nude lineup with her and 5 women who were much, much thinner than she was, and then show her the video to show her how she would look next to them. So I'm thinking, I'm not sure you could get more cruel and degrading.
Have I been living in a cave? Because I feel like I've been living in a cave.
No, you're just an essentially decent man, like most men are. Most men are really essentially kind, decent men who are genuinely horrified.
Our friend Kim was the receptionist at the last place we worked, and she dressed real fun.
She's a beautiful girl.
Beautiful woman, and she dressed not provocatively, but
just fun. She was
fun.
quirky.
She'd have a shoulder showing
Yeah.
or whatever, and she had some really cool clothes. And I didn't realize that when women, in some cases, women dress in a fun way like that they're not safe until they get to their work. And I never thought of that. They have to walk,
The way she put
which
that
can
to
be
you,
a gauntlet of getting to the office where she can relax and she's safe. And why does that come as a shock to me? But it is. It is a matter of you're dressing for being around your friends, but those people you have to get through and the comments and stuff like that, which could happen or do happen, you're going from a safe place to a safe place. And in between, you guys have issues to have to deal with.
Isn't that stunning?
Isn't it stunning? I didn't think of that until like 4 years ago. Because when you walk with women and stuff like that, you're safe. Everyone's safe.
No one's going to say anything because you're with it. Yeah, it's true. But you know what?
So disappointed in men.
Here's the thing, though, that there's women too. We know that now. But here's the thing that is good about this: the fact that it is actually, it's like anything else that is rotten and just under the surface and sort of spoiling and rotting away. Once you lift off the lid and you force it out into the sunlight, and it and the rot is exposed and it's disgusting and it's horrifying, but then it goes away and the ground heals again, and that's exactly what's happening.
I saw a great video.
Awful, but it will heal.
Saw a great video. Some guy goes off on a Muslim lady on a subway. Just starts unloading. I mean, just the most hateful things. And she's standing. And your feeling is because I felt it. You're like, oh, God, this is a bad situation. And then someone stood up and stood right next to her. And then another. And then another.
Really, you had to make me verklempt?
That's all I'm going to say.
See, we're tipping the show into the happy and the meaningful, because we're all better people, right? See?
Yeah.
There's more good people
There are more good
than
people.
god-awful Harvey Weinsteins and Weber High teenagers.
As opposed to those a-holes that we are.
All right, coming up next,
Not work with, no.
the drug sniffing buddy plan.
Oh, secret agent stuff.
Secret drug sniffing buddies.
It's coming up.
Tell you about it next. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Did you know that you can qualify for a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600? Just go to fink-mcgregor.com for more information. It's mortgages made simple. Also by The Vein Clinic. There's several excellent varicose vein removal procedures, but you need to find the right one for you. You can do that by scheduling an appointment at theveinclinic.com. And also by Black Diamond Heating, Electric, Plumbing, and Air. Black Diamond Experts, they also have a brand new office open in Ogden. You'll be glad you called an expert. BlackDiamondExpert.com.
Utah Credit Approval is now Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. That's why they approve more people than anyone, with better vehicles and lower interest rates, even 0 down payment. Just listen to one of their satisfied customers.
We recently went through a bankruptcy process looking to purchase new vehicles. We found Utah Credit Approval, went there, they treated us amazingly. If you don't want to go to another dealership and deal with all the BS in the sales manager office, go to these guys, you will not be sorry.
Utah Credit Approval, Gephardt approved, and Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. Apply today and drive away. It takes 5 minutes or less to get approved. Plus, they'll throw in a $500 cash card with your new car. Visit utahcreditapproval.com or call 801-921-9819. That's 801-921-9819. Go to utahcreditapproval.com now.
All right, welcome back to the Todd and Erin morning stream on GephartDaily.com. You're going to tell us what you have a nice story.
It's a weird story. It's important and it's crazy, and it's AJ Burgess was born a month too soon and his kidney didn't work.
Oh no.
Little baby. His dad, Anthony Dickerson, is a 110% match for an organ donation.
Which is unstinky. There he is.
It's a miracle. It's a freaking
It is a miracle.
Okay, surgeons at Emory Hospital in Atlanta will not perform the operation because Dickerson served time in prison for violating his probation.
Okay.
Now, AJ...
Whoa. Back up. Say that again.
Let me explain. AJ is only 25 pounds at the age of 2.
Right.
I spent 10 months in neonatal intensive care.
Right.
And then Dickerson, of course, his dad was tested, found out to be an unbelievable match.
Perfect.
And he says, he made it his business to say, okay, once I'm out of prison, the kidney, that's the only thing I care for is I'm going to be 100% perfect in here because I've got to get out and
his son.
give my son a kidney. To be honest, I don't quite understand why, jail or not, why you wouldn't just take him out, even if it's with an officer, and take the kidney.
I get it.
But,
I understand.
So as soon as he was released from prison, he went through the steps to donate his kidney.
Boom. Here we go.
And he made a mistake. He
mistake.
violated his parole, so it's his fault. He was foolish. But in any case,
Oh no.
Everything changed.
Oh no.
And they
no,
said,
no,
well, now
no.
because you violated probation, you're going to have to wait 4 more months before we can get a kidney from you.
Is that okay though?
And the lady said, you're going to have to be on good behavior. So, and you're going to have to reevaluate your history and think about what you want to do. And he's like, yeah, but I'm out. I'm here. I'm on parole. Can't you take the kidney now? And she goes, no, because there's a violation. We have to wait 4 more months. I'm not quite sure I understand why.
Isn't there a court? Isn't there a judge someplace?
I'm hoping.
And the guy's an idiot, by the way.
Yeah, he was stupid to do that. He made a mistake. But the
Parole
point,
violations can be you didn't report to your officer. It could be you left the state without notification. This idiot who put his son's health in danger was caught with a firearm and a knife.
Or a knife. I know it was dumb, but the point is he's still out on parole. Why can't they take the kidney?
Well, I don't care. If he's not on parole, put him back in the hospital, take the kidney, and then throw him in the brig.
That's fine too. That's the only thing I guess I don't
it's
understand.
His son.
That's what I don't understand though. Why can't they still take the kidney? I don't care where the guy is. Take the kidney and put him back there.
I wonder if someone's going to intercede. Intercede? Yes.
Intervene or intercede?
Yes.
I hope so.
A judge will go, you know what? It's his son.
Well, unfortunately, there's enough press now that hopefully that's going to shine a light where, because now the hospital has to justify it, the parole board has to justify it, and
you don't get a closer match than that.
We're not going to, 110%, 110%, now I sound like an athlete, 110% match is a good match.
Wow.
So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, and we'll follow along and see what we can find out.
There is a secret weapon in crime, solving crime, and it's
fluffy.
adorable.
It's fluffy.
And we're going to tell you what it is. But first,
Let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink & McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. If you want to go to fink-mcgregor.com, with a credit score of only 600, they can get you a mortgage. You can find out more there at fink-mcgregor.com. Also by the Vein Clinic. You know, there is a myriad of different ways now to get rid of varicose veins and spider veins and all the unattractive things that happen to your poor legs after pregnancy. And you will not find out which one is perfect for you until you go in for your screening. You can go to theveinclinic.com to get more information. Also by Black Diamond Experts. These are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. 24-hour service, and this would be the time to call them to get your furnace checked up on. It's blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's what's making national and world news Wednesday, October 18th on GephartDaily.com. A new bipartisan healthcare effort may prove to be a vital safety net for the millions of Americans about to lose health insurance under Donald Trump. The tentative agreement hammered out by Republican Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee and Democratic Senator Patty Murray of Washington could circumvent Trump's executive order ending subsidies for low-income families buying health insurance. The new deal would extend payments to insurers for 2 years while states adapt to Trump's undercutting of Obamacare. The White House is indicating a willingness to support the measure, but warns it would be temporary. Police have arrested a person who jumped a cement divider outside the White House Tuesday morning. Secret Service posted on Twitter at 9:49 a.m. that 3rd District of Columbia police officers were responding to an individual who jumped over the concrete barrier on the south side of the White House. 10 minutes later, a lone person was reported in custody. Trump was in the White House at the time, meeting with Secretary of Defense General James Mad Dog Mattis. No word if they were aware of the ruckus. And Donald Trump's overall worth dropped dozens of spots on the Forbes 400 wealthiest Americans list. According to Forbes, his wealth decreased by $600 million last year, leaving him with a paltry $3.1 billion. Trump ranks 248th on the list, which is 92 spots lower than last year. A major reason for the slide is the decrease in value among Trump's largest source of wealth, the New York City real estate market. That's it for now. For more local headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
We get this question at Columbus Travel and Bountiful all the time.
I can imagine.
What is better? Is it Mexico, which is the all-inclusive, or Hawaii, where there really isn't an all-inclusive program that's out there? I mean, you really can't miss with either one. I don't know that there's a right or a wrong answer to Hawaii and Mexico. So if we're looking at beaches, I have some favorite beaches in Hawaii. And did you know on the Big Island, they have black sand beaches, white sand beaches, and green sand beaches. There's minerals in the water and the soil, and it's turned the sand green. Be great for St. Patrick's Day.
Right? That's so cool.
With that. Now, in Mexico, there are so many beaches. We generally think in terms of Cancun or Puerto Vallarta. All right, Puerto Vallarta. And now, those are just iconic, beautiful beaches, white sand. And interestingly, in Cancun, you'll never burn your feet. So here's how I look at Hawaii and Mexico. You can't miss on either one. For me, and it's a personal choice, just being there, the atmosphere, the ambiance, probably Hawaii for me. There's something magical, they call it the aloha spirit, about Hawaii. Mexico, however, is the better value.
All right, so the prices come out tomorrow. Is this true?
For the new prices we talked about last week. Right. With Hawaii and Mexico, I like Hawaii as my first choice. I still love Mexico, but Mexico is absolutely the best bargain. You do need a passport to fly to Mexico.
That's another good reason.
And you want to get all the prices? Call Columbus Travel, the Hawaii and Mexico specialist, 800-373-3328, or better yet, you can see the prices online at columbusvacations.com. That's Columbus Vacations with a S on the end.com.
All right, I have
I have been waiting for the last like 20 minutes for this story.
All right. May I?
Yes, please.
When you are going to run for mayor, now sometimes mayors don't have a huge amount of experience. It's
True,
the entry
sure.
level. No, it's not entry level.
It's
but
not an entry-level position, but
you
a
see
lot
a
of times
lawyer.
you might see a charismatic
Right.
outsider who
Right.
goes into politics. Sure.
Dave Gautreaux. David.
French-sounding guy.
David decides that he is in Philadelphia. He's going to run for mayor. Now that's a big job.
That's a big city, big job.
That's you need some experience on this. And
I would think, yeah.
And so if you think about it, you want to come and with your platform, you want to come up with some ideas. You
Maybe
put them
some
out
unique
there.
things.
You know what?
Concerns.
If we turn the street lights off an hour earlier, we could make save this much money and apply that to a school program, right? And then people watching are like,
That's a good idea.
Dave's a thinker. And then you have other issues, and then perhaps a drug problem. Most cities do.
And that's a big concern for a lot of people.
Dave put some thought to this, and he came up with an idea as well. And so, in one of the town meetings, and he is being he's on television, and he's being asked about different things and about the economy of city and the growth and fiscal responsibility. And then they said the drug problem. And Dave was ready. Dave was ready because he's the thinker.
So great.
Yeah.
What did he say? What was the plan?
Dave said, I think what we should do is utilize to save money, we're going to use the drug sniffing bunnies. Because dogs are too expensive.
The drug sniffing bunnies? Where did he get the idea for the
He saw it online.
the drug sniffing bunnies?
Saw it online. That's what he saw.
It's the Amherst Police Department.
They-
And as a joke for
It's
April
April
Fools,
Fool's joke.
they'd put out this awesomely photoshopped picture of the
bunny.
police officer with his new drug sniffing bunny.
Bunny. Well, Dave running for mayor.
That is the funniest picture I've ever seen. Look at the guy; he's like all proud of the bunny.
Said
He's
it-
like got
said
his
it.
little jacket on.
He said it so sincerely because he believed that,
He had seen the picture.
and if it's on the internet,
Isn't this a lot
It's
like
true.
how Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea, saw The Onion, which is a satirical website's
Yeah.
list of the 5 most attractive men in the world, and he was listed as number 1, and he had the press publicize that in North Korea,
because he didn't realize
not
it was
knowing
a
it was
joke.
a satirical website. So it's kind of basically he didn't really notice that the
Drug.
Amherst police.
Sniffing bunnies.
I think bunnies would be excellent at that because they have their little noses and they're very low to the ground, so it seems like they could be good.
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to. All right. Coming up. Remember baby Jessica
30 years ago.
in the well, in the shaft? And they remember all that?
Tiny little body and she'd slip down into the shaft. Incredibly dramatic rescue.
We're going to show you what she looks like now. That's coming up.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Go to fink-mcgregor.com for mortgages made simple. Because they're a broker, they have a number of different options they can offer you. Just go through a 4-minute questionnaire and someone will call you back by the next business day and get you on your way. It's fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Utah Credit Approval knows that there's sometimes the bad things happen to good people and that credit may be hard to repair. But you can apply today and drive away today with Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Go to allutahplumbing.com to schedule a check to make sure that you're ready for winter. And don't forget they have 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com.
So, Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
Took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
bunny, bunny, bunny. Here, bunny, bunny, bunny. Smell the drugs, bunny. Sorry.
Oh, that was the cutest picture. I don't care. And
I love it.
the bunny in his little jacket, he was adorable.
All right.
I do wish there were drug sniffing bunnies because they were so
Right?
cute.
I'd carry drugs
Right?
just to see them.
Even the dealers would be going, look at the bunny.
look at that
Come over here. I know
bunny.
you're smelling my drugs.
Why
Come
are you
here.
pistol whipping me? Okay, so
Speaking
anyway.
of pistol whipping,
Yes.
okay, you know what a night watch commander is, right?
Nope.
Okay, Unified Police, for instance, a night watch commander would be in charge of the entire precinct.
He's like a supervisor.
Yeah, he's
no?
the supervisor of making sure what's going on,
Okay.
everyone's going out on their calls, things
Okay.
are being done.
All right.
Lieutenant Dan McConkey is this man.
Okay.
And
Here?
yeah,
Okay.
he made a call for South Jordan, and he's Unified Police, so he's that big section.
Yeah, he's ready.
And he's accused of calling police and reporting a suspicious car at a home in South Jordan.
You call 911.
So, of course, police race to the scene
Right.
to see if everything's okay.
And?
And the woman comes out and goes, no, there's nothing going on here. And
Yeah.
upon further investigation, realized that it belongs to McConkey's estranged wife.
Oh boy.
They don't know why he made the call.
You call 911.
Yeah.
Isn't there a penalty that goes with
Yeah,
that?
charges are being filed against the Unified Police Department officer. False emergency call and obstruction of justice. He's been placed on leave.
Because
But it's one of those, it's like, but not even like misconduct so much as just like, so
yeah.
why did you do that?
What could it do to help you not be estranged? And plus the fact, if you want to get nitpicky about it, they could have been pulling off people that could have been someplace else saving someone's life.
Yeah, like where there was a real emergency.
And then it goes
You
downhill
would
from
think
there.
that he would know, being a unified police officer and a watch commander, having seen this level of crime
Right.
active, you would think he would not want it. Okay, anyway, there's no end to this story other than, so, sorry.
Philadelphia. I'm going to take you back to Philadelphia. Now I'm going to do this in a new way. Are you ready?
Okay.
Get ready with a photo. Okay. A guy spiders a torch. This.
It's Tucson, by the way. You know, it really just speaks for itself, doesn't it?
I don't need to say anything.
Just let it flow over you.
Yeah.
He thought the fastest way to get rid of...
No, don't ruin it.
I've lived in Tucson.
You don't have to say it. Just,
And there's big spiders there.
Yeah, sure.
There were big spiders there and also scorpions.
don't make excuses for him, okay? Once again,
Repeat it.
man, spiders, torch. You're welcome. All right, let's go. I want to see this. I want to see this baby Jessica. How
Okay, don't
long-
show the picture yet, please.
Yeah, how long ago was this?
30 years ago today.
Okay, 30 years.
18-month-old baby Jessica. 18-month. I picture that now with our babies, and it's like...
She was in the backyard playing.
She was in an abandoned well in her aunt's backyard in Midland, Texas.
And they were tubes. They were tubes about the width of a kid.
You know, and I remember Todd and I even talking about it once, and I was looking at our 18-month-old, our boys, and going, could they fit in... And you look at the way their little bodies...
She slid right
Yeah.
into it and wedged herself.
Terrifying and really intense. It was intense for the whole world. Everybody was watching.
Everyone watched it.
And rescue workers were so emotional, and it took 58 hours, and they came up with just amazing creative things to do to get this child saved.
It's kind of like the miners in Chile, remember?
Oh, yeah.
But this is before like CNN, and so they were covering it a lot, but it would have been a minute by minute. So they tried a bunch of stuff. They decided on what they were going to do, and what they ended up doing. How long was she down there?
58 hours.
58 hours. And so what they did is they actually, and it was hard rock. They
2
actually
hours, 10 days.
made another.
It was another vertical
How
shaft,
long was
right?
it?
2 hours and 10 hours. I mean, 2 days and 10 hours.
Right.
58 hours.
They did a parallel shaft going down, and then they cut in, and then they got her out, and she was fine. What does she look like today?
Here's
30
what I
years.
love.
30 years. There she is.
Look at her cute face. She became a special education teacher.
Yep.
She still lives in Midland, and she calls her life a miracle. She said, I had God on my side that day.
Wow.
And she said, and to this day, she said, I thank God every day for everybody who worked for me. And she has a list of names, and she goes through them in her prayers and thanks each one.
That's amazing. That is amazing. 30 years later.
And she's a wonderful woman and a wonderful mom, and she teaches kids who have special needs.
Today was a hell of a show.
Yeah, this was kind of a roller coaster emotionally, wasn't it? You all okay? We're sorry. We didn't mean
Sorry.
to. It got weird.
That was not intentional.
It got weird.
We usually don't plan very much, and evidently this is the reason we should. And but thanks for sticking with us, you guys. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be a little more normal.
It's gonna be no. It won't.
Todd and Erin morning stream at GetBarDaily.com. We need some sand.